How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Hack/Little Children. And this is a really interesting hack/slash story. Once again, we're just coming off that big arc of Tub Club. We get Cassie following up that lead about a guy who might know where her father is. But of course, it's not going to be that easy. The cabin will be ransacked, and we have to dig through this guy's notes to find out what he was up to. And we get kind of a side story with this guy and finding that he's doing like brain experiments on feral children. This story gets kind of dark and messed up. There's some crazy moments in here. I will say, because a lot of this is a flashback, that means that Cassie and Vlad aren't in quite a few pages. Now, they definitely show up for the end. In the end, we do get a big, cool action sequence. It's just during these flashbacks, we do kind of miss them. But it is an interesting story, and it does lead into the lore of the series. But that being said, it also is a little bit text-heavy as well. Overall, I did enjoy it as an aside, and if we did have to do like multiple issues of this, it could get a little grating. But the idea that Hack/Slash is a long-running series, but with a bit of a looser structure where they can do, 1, 2, 3 issue plot arcs, I really do like the flexibility, and this does really work out pretty well as a one-shot. So, interesting bit of lore and good dark moments. But yeah, it is a bit of an aside. But overall, for a one-issue side story thing, it is pretty interesting and has some good original villains for this tale. Anyway though, if you guys want to see me talk about the story in more detail, we're going to switch to the close-up camera. I'll show you guys some of the story and some of the art. No major spoilers, but if you guys want to see more, let's go ahead and switch to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at Hack/Little Children. Once again, we are looking in Omnibus Volume 2. Cracking that open, as always, Tim Seeley is the writer, and Emily Stone is back as the penciler. She's like the regular penciler for the series. She does disappear, and sometimes we get someone else, but good to have some consistency. And we can also see that this was originally issue 10 of the first ongoing series. Flip it to the cover, Little Children, and then this portrait of Cassie with all the hands touching her face. I have to say, I really do like this cover. Kind of a creepy little cover, also a portrait cover. That's really cool looking. Anyway, after that we get into the story proper. I'm not going to do any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and make sure you guys have a basic understanding as to what the story is about. No major spoilers, but let's analyze, let's look at some of the art. Won't cover the very end though. Anyway, we open up with this section of a journal, and whenever it's the journal, you get to see these little journal pieces here, but also this spiral section along the side, and this guy's talking about how he was playing God, but he wasn't a really good God, and he created flawed creations, and now that's going to catch up with him. And this is, of course, Howard Phillips. This is one of the guys that might know where Cassie's father is, but looks like some strange animal-themed characters are about to get him, and we hear a scream. We'll also get this scene later where a little girl says she hears screaming in the night. Her mother dismisses it, and yeah, they're roaming around the neighborhood, and apparently they picked off a few other people as well, so these characters are quite dangerous. But unfortunately for Cassie, when she gets to Howard Phillips' home, looks like he's already dead. There's some papers and a big blood splat, and Vlad's like, well, we can read through his notes, and that way we can try to maybe figure out where your father is. And I do like this bit of characterization from Cassie here, saying, I had given up on my father. I wasn't even going to think about him or anything like that, and I had kind of just moved on. I became a slasher hunter. I focused that and tried not to think of anything else. So it's a wound that she wasn't going to pick at, but now she has this opportunity. She should at least try, because how often will this come up? And plus, if he's involved with slashers, it might be important. But yeah, Cassie wants to know, but knows that this is going to hurt her. And then we get into this flashback sequence. I love how, in order for a bit of characterization, they make this guy a big music nut. But he talks about how he's gotten feral kids, so kids that grow up without a proper development structure, and a lot of them don't even know how to talk. You know, some were abandoned, some were war-torn countries, and he talks about how it's super messed up that he was able to just buy most of these kids for pretty cheap. And we get to see a bit of his research. Basically, he's found kids with developmental issues because in Revenants, the brain was a big problem, where they would be angry, they wouldn't be thinking straight, and he's like, if I come up with a regenerative brain function, then maybe I can make a more perfect Revenant. But of course this means injecting kids with Revenant DNA. That's not going to go well. Yeah, this is not really a good idea, dude. But of course we will eventually jump out of those journals to Cassie and Vlad, and them having to pick up the pieces of, let's just say, a really dark situation that someone else has set up. And also, can she find anything about her father? Well, of course, everything's going to come to a head. We're going to get some cool action sequences, and overall, a pretty interesting ending with all these characters whenever we get to see them more fully. Overall, I think this is a good little one-off. It does lead to, again, I won't spoil it, but a really fun ending battle, and the way when these kids show up, Cassie and Vlad react very differently to them. I thought that was really cool. So overall, I did like this story. Not my favorite thing ever, but a good little interesting aside, and also that cover is really fun. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my hack slash playlist. If you guys want to see me talk about the past issues of the series, you should be able to find them there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.